Okay, so this is poem number 2 of It's Almost 1 o'clock in the morning reading poetry instead of going to sleep series. And I will be very honest about what this poem is about. It is about getting an abortion. It's a really heavy subject, and it might seem like I'm making light of it, but I definitely am not in real life. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand people who don't regret doing things like this. So I'll just read it, and you guys could share your experience if you want. I will say that at the time, I am still a Christian, but I was like a new Christian. I was like walking around like, if I ever got pregnant, I would keep the baby no matter what. And I was just like so prideful and thinking that I would be able to handle a situation like that. And then I get pregnant and I like lost it. Like, I was like, I cannot do this. I actually never had children. I don't know if that like scarred me for life, but maybe I'm just not that maternal. Although I have like pets and I love animals and I was a teacher and I do love kids, but maybe just not for my own. When I like absolutely freaked out, like on the floor crying, saying I'm not going to be able to handle this, and I wasn't. And at first, I guess I'm just going to tell you guys the truth about this. At first, I was like, it doesn't bother me. Like, for years, actually, I was like, I'm glad I did it. It's a terrible thing to say. Not like I'm glad I did it, but how could I not do it? Like, I was like, well, if I give it up to for adoption, that's like messed up. I don't know why I thought that was messed up. I know I can't raise it. And I actually know it was a girl. I got like a sign from God that it was a girl. And I had like 2 friends, and one was telling me not to, and one was telling me that I should, just because she knew how I wasn't able to manage the situation. And I listened to it. It was like the devil and the angel. And oh, like, so I was saying, when I felt bad about it, when I finally like penetrated into my thick skull, is I was like listening to somebody on social media, and he was saying, and he had like so much value to add to the world, and he was like, I believe he was supposed to be an abortion, and then he ended up like his mom changed his mind, and he has so much to offer the world. And he was like, what if I was not here to say the things that I'm saying? And I was like, I I like eliminated a life that could have been so meaningful. And I actually had this like, so then I felt really bad. And I had a vision like a few, not even a year ago, I don't remember, but I was like in prayer. And I see this picture, and this girl is like showing me around heaven. And she was just like so sweet. And she was around like a teenager. And she's just showing me different areas of heaven. And then I was like, Jesus, who's that? And he says, that's your daughter. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I know some of you are going to think I'm crazy, but I felt so horrible. I can't even explain it. I felt so horrible, and I felt like she said, like, I forgive you. So, wow, that was very personal. I wasn't expecting to go there, but I know God is so gracious and forgiving, even though when we don't deserve it. You know what's strange? Like, many years before this happened, I was kind of like a new Christian. I was with a group from my church at a boardwalk at the beach, and we were praying and singing and praising God, and I heard a voice, and he said, even if you kill someone, I will still love you. And I was just like, what? Like, how am I gonna kill somebody? Like, and God knew what I was gonna do. Just, wow. This has a lot to it. Actually, I was going to read another poem with the same subject, but this is actually more suitable. So it is called She is Gone, Yet She is Still With Me. Unto heaven is my prowl, a sawdust blindfold awaits me, and Jesus is the master of unfinished pine. The birth of my baby is gone, my nipples no longer feel pierced. Saint Sebastian would be envious. I wonder if she is made of stardust, if she floats an ethereal wisp, when I round the corner of 2nd Avenue and 35th Street. Down here I rub bookshelves and tables with the back of my hand, but I can't take them home. I cannot afford to. So my room stays bare and anxious. The keys have trouble fitting inside of the locks. But I must get inside to change her diapers. She has a rash, so I throw up, and powder falls on my head like a dry white fountain. I shake rattles into the neck of possibility. I think about what might have been. Before you were in the womb, I knew you. Michelangelo, where are you? Without you, there is no chapel. And you know, for that last line, like, what if somebody had aborted Michelangelo? What if somebody aborted Da Vinci? What if somebody aborted, I don't even know, Thomas Edison? You know, just random. Like, there's just people that have made a mark on history in this life, and we really have to think. I would just like to say to anybody who's watching this, who's thinking about doing that, like, don't do it. I'm telling you, it will be so worth having this child, and God will give you and the child a special blessing and give you the strength and give you so much joy. Like, don't do what I did. So anyway, thanks for listening to me. Good night.